Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and because Ripple partnered with Uphold yesterday, and Uphold is on the platform, private equity on the Link to platform, who is one of my sponsors, I decided that I would get Nick Birafedo on the line to talk about what this means or what he thought, just get his thoughts on the Uphold Ripple partnership. And when I did, something just popped into my mind while we were talking, but this is interesting. So I got Digital Perspectives to tweet it out since I am still in exile.
Yeah, DA, thanks for having me on today. This Ripple Uphold partnership is a really exciting thing. I'm sure you feel the same way about it.
Oh yeah.
We have, and one of the things that I want to emphasize for most of the folks out there is, I remember the day after the case, the judge ruled on the Ripple case. It was actually, and I'm going to a tweet I did, it was on July 14th. Someone had asked David Schwartz about ODL related sales. Are they now considered securities? And David Schwartz said, and I quote, "We're still figuring this out. We don't currently have ODL related sales with the US nexus, and not being able to do so is really not a huge deal. We can still do ODL in the United States so long as XRP is never sourced from Ripple." Well, I think by the partnership with Uphold, they have absolutely solved for that. And for me, it's now the perfect ramp for U.S. financial institutions to start using ODL, which I think they've rebranded again from XRP to ODL to now liquidity, right? I think they call it crypto liquidity, but now I don't think there's any reason why financial institutions can't use XRP in cross-border payment flows. So that really makes it exciting.
Something that just popped in my head, wasn't it Uphold like 2 years ago that did the tweet? They did the tweet. It was like, XRP is $1,000. What do you do now? Or something like that.
They did. And you know what? I remember that. And I don't even think it was a year ago. I thought it was a pretty aggressive tweet. Literally, I bet you that tweet was in the last 6 months.
It was something like that, but that's a very, that just popped in my head randomly just now.
Yeah. I saw the Uphold executives there at the Ripple Proper Party, and I thought it was really cool that they were there. I actually had a chance to chat with them at our pre-Proper Party, and they shared some of the exciting, updates and upgrades that'll be coming to the Uphold platform in the future. And Uphold is, always been near and dear to all of, the XRP community. Certainly, we've had a great relationship with them here at Link2 because we use them as a payment source where members can use their Uphold accounts to invest in private equity. But we're just huge Uphold fans, and they're great people over there. And for your listeners, I just say that, there's been a massive resurgence of interest in Uphold shares, and we do currently have them on our platform. We've got members who have had positions in Uphold that are increasing their positions, and we have members that hadn't had positions in Uphold that are taking them now. So if you're interested in Uphold private equity, please visit link2.com.
All right. Good job by Nick Birafedo. And by the way, here's that tweet. XRP just hit $1,000. What are you tweeting? It was on September 13th, 2020, just a couple of months before the lawsuit dropped. Now, this is interesting. Flip the Chain made a comment on Nick's tweet about what he just talked about. The recent partnership between Ripple and Uphold seems to be solving the problem of issuance of XRP to institutions. Currently, because of the lawsuit, institutional sales, Ripple's customers can't purchase XRP from Ripple directly. Exchanges currently do not have enough liquidity to source XRP to institutions. This is where Uphold comes into the picture. Great move. Now look at Crypto Bull coming out of nowhere. XRP went from $0.002 to $3.84 during its first major bull run. We find that bottom and the top line up with its retrace. If we follow the very same pattern this bull run, we could hit XRP at $220, I will take it. And that's me clapping. Yeah, I'll take $220 all day long. And I will be broadcasting from Jackson Hole, Wyoming from then on, or somewhere like it. Now, John Deaton had this tweet yesterday. I think it was yesterday. Huge prediction made. Now, he had Jeremy Hogan and Jeremy's wife. I forget what her name is. But anyway, he had Jeremy Hogan and his wife on. And there's a couple of interesting clips. The bold prediction, which is coming up, I'll play that last, but I did want to play some of their thoughts right here at the 21-minute mark. Watch this.
Looking at a settlement, or what are we looking at next?
I mean, it makes sense. I think we're looking at a settlement next. It's really ripe for it, actually, because there's only one issue left.
She calls
right?
for
There's
settlement. That's not the bold prediction,
sales,
but it is a prediction.
Basically, what that means is, what does Ripple have to pay? So in the bigger picture, I don't think this is a case where let's go all the way and we're going to set precedential value. I don't think a California judge is going to look to a New York trial order for presidential value. And so if the only issue left is what does Ripple have to pay, I mean, I don't see why settlement wouldn't be in the short future.
You see, Jeremy, I agree with that, but I've been thinking that this case was ripe for settlement for a long time, but before the release of the Hinman emails, I thought that was going to be a great chance for settlement. When this decision came out, and before the dismissal, what your wife was talking about, using the dismissal of the executives as a negotiation ploy to get a higher penalty from Ripple, but it just never seems to happen. So what's your take on settlement? Do you think it's going to happen, or do you think this is just a 770 million and we're just starting the fight?
So I'm getting up a little bit because I'm getting ready to run because I'm going to disagree with my wife.
Uh-oh.
I mean, if you look at this from a private litigant standpoint, this case is teed up for settlement. I mean, if this was, Corporation A versus Corporation B, this case would be settled before the end of the year, right?
Yep.
But what I realized recently in digging into some of the SEC cases, they don't operate like a typical litigant, and they just haven't in the past. And I don't know what goes on in the rooms with the meetings about what they're going to do, but they just don't seem interested in a settlement in this case for some reason, and I just don't know why. But from what I've seen in the...
Okay, now I'm going to get you to his bold prediction. I think it's at the 30 mark. Let me see. Woof. Let's see. Here we go. Right here.
Yes. How does this end? How does this, when all's said and done, how does this case end?
This case ends. And I'm calling this one for the first time ever. You heard it first on Crypto Law. This case ends at an appeal by Ripple on its blue sky defense, and the Second Circuit agrees with Ripple, and Ripple walks away with the big W across all three categories of sales.
Whoa, that is a bold prediction.
The big W.
Thank you for sharing that. You even got close to the camera.
51.6% chance of that happening.
51.6%.
What say you, young lady?
I stand by my husband, not his butt.
Outstanding.
That's good stuff right there, and I like that. Wanted to finish with this one right here. This is a billionaire, and he's saying sell bonds, buy Bitcoin. I hope he says it at the beginning here, because this is the whole clip.
So how do you think Bitcoin can affect an economy like Mexico or Latin America in the future?
Well, I think that all over the world, not just in Mexico or Latin America, what we're seeing is this increasing inflation tax, which means that people's savings are being taken from them without their permission, without their knowledge. And it's very sad, especially for people who depend on this for their retirement. So Bitcoin is a way to protect against that because it cannot be debased. So the importance of Bitcoin is that it's tax resistant and many other things. But it very specifically applies to hyperinflationary economies, of which we have several in Latin America.
And what would need to happen in Mexico for mass adoption for Bitcoin? Or what do the gobernícolas have to do to, push Bitcoin as a tool for freedom?
Yeah, well, the thing is, first thing that needs to happen is people need to realize that they're being scammed, that they're being robbed by these crooks in the government. That's what they are. They're fraudsters.
What?
Exactamundo. You got that right. Now, I'm going into the membership group. I had an announcement. This morning, I'm trying to figure this thing out, but this morning I turned the comments on in the member group, and it's created a whole new dynamic. So what I'm trying today in the member group, I'm videoing like inside of the member group and showing some of the things I'm posting and showing the different people's comments and interactions, and this way we can it can get even more interesting. But I just posted probably the number one video that I was never able to show in social media. I would have a top 10 probably, and this is the number one, and I went in and I'm talking about that today. So on to the member group. I'm a digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and tell your friends and family. The member group is getting pretty interesting in there. DAIXRP.com to join. Thank you for listening.